The story begins with a journalist named Mattia who is live streaming with her husband Nwin. Nwin begs her to come back, but Mattia refuses because she's investigating a child trafficking case. A young boy has recently disappeared, and she believes she's finally tracked down his location. In the next scene, Mattia arrives at what looks like a hidden cave where she comes face to face with a group of child traffickers. A brutal fight breaks out, even though she's an incredibly skilled fighter and manages to take on all of them. She eventually finds the missing boy and tells him to run, but just then, the movie's two main villains arrive. The leader is Long, accompanied by his ruthless right-hand man Tak, an expert archer. Tak calmly fires an arrow straight at the boy, killing him instantly. Mattia watches in horror and is furious, but there's nothing she can do. Tak knocks another arrow and aims it directly at her. And before we see what happens next, the scene cuts away. The movie then introduces our main hero, Wong, who is living with his daughter Renee now that she has moved back in with him. Wong works as a trader and is on his way to work when Renee asks if she can come along. He happily agrees. When they arrive, Renee records a short video of her father while he's working. Later, on their way home, she tells him that she's planning to return to China and wants him to come with her. However, Wong refuses. Meanwhile, Nwin meets a trafficker named Marky and pretends to be interested in buying children. He tells Marky that he wants to meet the boss behind the operation, and Marky agrees to arrange it. Back at home, Renee continues practicing kung fu because her father insists on it even though she hates the training. Wong explains through sign language that he's only doing it to protect her. One important detail is that Wong is mute. He can't speak and communicates entirely through sign language. He tries to explain why her training is so important, but Renee becomes frustrated and walks away. At the same time, Nwin desperately searches for Mattia. He keeps replaying a video she recorded of Marky over and over, hoping to identify the location where she disappeared. Later, Wong takes Renee to a barbershop and asks the barber to cut her hair very short, which only upsets her even more. Wong explains through sign language that short hair is necessary for serious kung fu training. He tells her he's doing it because he won't always be there to protect her. Renee argues that she only trained because he was by her side. Now everything is different since he refuses to move to China with her. Angry and disappointed, she storms off. As she's walking alone, she meets a young boy with a limp who begs for help, claiming that something terrible has happened to his parents nearby. Feeling sorry for him, Renee agrees to follow him. What she doesn't realize is that the whole thing is a trap. Marky and Tak are waiting inside a nearby van, and the boy has been working with them all along. The moment Renee arrives, they kidnap her. When Wong notices that his daughter is taking too long to return, he goes looking for her. He spots the suspicious van and immediately gives chase. Catching up to it, he yanks the key out of the ignition and throws it away. Suddenly, Tak appears and knocks him back. Wong is forced into a brutal fight against both Tak and Marky. The fight spills into an abandoned factory, where the three exchange blows for quite some time. Eventually, Wong manages to overpower them and rushes back to the van, hoping to rescue Renee. But before he can reach her, Marky attacks again, trying to force him away. At that moment, Wong finally sees that his daughter is still inside the vehicle. Tak then grabs a massive sledgehammer and repeatedly smashes Wong before sending him crashing to the ground. Renee wakes up inside the van, hears the commotion, and desperately calls out to her father, but she's completely helpless. Wong struggles to his feet and runs after the kidnappers, but a speeding car suddenly slams into him. Afterward, Wong goes to the police station to report his daughter's kidnapping and gives the officers the van's license plate number. Officer Yardong listens carefully, but her captain soon arrives and asks what's going on. After hearing the situation, he tells Wong that there are procedures they have to follow and promises they'll contact him if they find his daughter. With no other choice, Wong leaves the station. As he walks away, Yardong turns to her partner and wonders who this mysterious man really is. Meanwhile, Renee and the other kidnapped children are being held inside an underground hideout. Back at home, Wong takes a shower, quietly prepares his weapons, and remembers something important. During his fight with Tak, he noticed a strange symbol on one of the vehicles, and now he knows exactly where it leads. Meanwhile, Nwin, the missing journalist's husband, arrives at the trafficker's hideout. Tak and Marky search him before allowing him to meet their boss, Mr. Song. Nwin pretends to be a wealthy buyer looking to purchase children, but he's actually using the deal to get closer to the people responsible for his wife's disappearance. Not long after, Wong arrives at the same place. The moment he sees Marky, he recognizes him as one of the men who kidnapped Renee. Without hesitation, Wong grabs him and demands to know where his daughter is. Marky tries to fight back, but Wong easily overpowers him and lands several heavy blows. Furious, Marky orders all of his men to kill Wong. He even steps into an underground fighting arena and announces a huge cash reward to anyone who can take him down. Within seconds, dozens of thugs charge at Wong from every direction. Meanwhile, Mr. Song is informed that a mysterious man has stormed the building and is beating up his men. At first, he assumes it's Nwin, but Nwin quickly denies having anything to do with it. it. Not believing him, Mr. Song orders his men to kill Nwin as well, forcing Nwin to fight his way through the gang. At the same time, Wong is surrounded inside the fighting arena by countless attackers. Armed with his weapons and incredible martial arts skills, he tears through every opponent who comes at him. While Nwin is fighting his own battle, Marky tries to escape upstairs, but during the chaos, he's accidentally knocked over the railing, falls to his death, and dies instantly. Wong witnesses Marky's death before looking up and spotting Nwin on the upper level. Nwin makes his way into the security room to steal all of the gang's surveillance data. Before he can finish, Wang bursts in and mistakes him for another enemy. A fierce fight breaks out between the two. The battle only stops when Nwin notices a photograph of a young girl that falls out of Wang's wallet. He immediately realizes Wong isn't working for Mr. Song. He explains that he's searching for someone too, and that they're both after the same people. Elsewhere, Mr. Song is inside another warehouse, brutally torturing Marky. Standing nearby is the limping boy who helped kidnap Renee, and it's revealed that he's actually Marky's son. Because Marky failed his mission, Mr. Song decides to punish him in the cruelest way possible. Right in front of his own son, he executes Marky without hesitation before throwing the terrified boy into the underground prison where the kidnapped children are being held. When Renee sees him, she's furious. She blames him for everything and yells, "Why did you do this to me? Because of you, I got kidnapped." She even attacks him, but the other children quickly separate them. Meanwhile, Nwin explains to Wong that he's been investigating this trafficking organization for the past 2 months, and that Wong's sudden arrival almost ruined his entire operation. He then shows Wong a photo of Tak and asks if he recognizes him. Wong immediately confirms that he does. Next, Nwin shows him several photos of a refrigerated truck that has been spotted at different locations. Wong connects all the clues and realizes the children are most likely being hidden inside an ice factory. In the next scene, the two men arrive there. As soon as they enter, Nwin spots Tak and immediately attacks him, but Tak proves to be an extremely dangerous opponent. At the same time, Wong notices Mr. Song arriving at the factory and opening fire. Wong and Nwin join forces against Tak, leading to a long and brutal fight as they struggle to bring him down. Then Wong suddenly finds a set of clothes that belong to Renee. Believing his daughter has been killed, he's consumed by rage and starts beating Tak mercilessly, determined to kill him. Nwin quickly stops him, shouting, "Don't do it! Your daughter might still be alive." Meanwhile, the police chief secretly contacts Pak Long and informs him that a mute man is searching for his daughter and is now working together with another man. At that moment, Pak Long is with his pregnant wife. Meanwhile, Wong and Nwin capture Mr. Song and repeatedly torture him with electric shocks, demanding to know where the kidnapped children are being held. At first, Mr. Song refuses to talk, but after enduring unbearable pain, he finally breaks and reveals that the children are being kept in a place known as Snake Pit. He warns them that anyone who enters that place never comes back alive. Before they leave, Nwin asks the question he's feared the most. "Where's my wife?" Mr. Song coldly replies that he killed her. Enraged by the answer, Nwin shocks him again and again, unable to control his anger. Inside the hideout, Renee starts looking for a way to escape. The limping boy tells her it's hopeless and that none of them will ever get out alive. Renee refuses to give up. She tells him they have to at least try. The boy sadly explains that his father was killed right in front of him, and now he has no family left. Even if he escaped, he wouldn't have anywhere to go. Renee comforts him, telling him he can come live with her and her father. Later that night, Mr. Song leaves the factory, only to find Pak Long and Tak waiting for him outside. Without saying a word, Tak fires an arrow that kills Mr. Song instantly. Back inside the infamous snake pit, Renee finally manages to break the lock and free the children. But before they can escape, the traffickers discover what's happening and capture several of the kids, while Renee finds herself surrounded by armed gang members. Outside, Wong and Nwin arrive and storm the building, fighting their way through everyone in their path. During the battle, Wong finally sees Renee alive. He immediately runs over and hugs his daughter. After making sure she's safe, Wong tells her they need to leave immediately, but Renee refuses. She tells him there are still many children trapped inside and they can't abandon them. Nwin steps in and tells Wong, "Don't worry, I'll save the rest of the children. Take your daughter and get out of here." Trusting him, Wong places Renee on his motorcycle and the two ride away. Meanwhile, Nwin continues fighting the traffickers alone, but before they get very far, Renee reminds her father that they have to go back and help. She also reveals that this was part of Nwin's original plan all along. Before coming to the hideout, he had started a live stream exposing the traffickers and telling desperate parents exactly where their kidnapped children were being held. Officer Yardong sees the live stream and immediately orders her partner to head to the location and rescue the children. Soon, worried parents begin gathering outside the building, and police units also arrive. Yardong wants to storm the place, case, but her captain refuses to authorize the operation. Even worse, more gang members arrive and walk straight past the police, who are ordered not to intervene. After hearing Renee's plea, Wong changes his mind. He turns his motorcycle around, rides straight back into the building with Renee, and once again joins forces with Nwin to battle the gang. Meanwhile, Renee leads all of the children upstairs, searching for a way out. They tie together a long rope so the children can climb down one by one. After remaining silent for a while, Yardong finally decides she's had enough. Ignoring her captain's orders, she tells her partner that saving the children is more important than following protocol, and the two officers rush into the building. At the same time, Wong and Nwin stand on the staircase, holding off wave after wave of gang members and preventing them from reaching the children. The police finally arrive just in time and fire warning shots into the air, forcing the attackers to back away. One by one, the children safely climb down the rope. When it's Renee's turn, the rope suddenly snaps. Fortunately, the officers catch her before she hits the ground. Another young boy is about to climb down when one of the gang members appears, ready to kill him. From below, Yardong quickly fires her weapon, killing the attacker and saving the boy. Thanks to everyone's efforts, every single child is rescued. In the next scene, news reports reveal everything that happened and expose Pak Long as the mastermind behind the entire child trafficking operation. Meanwhile, Pak Long's pregnant wife tells him that her father wants to see him. Pak Long meets with his father-in-law, who angrily scolds him for smuggling illegal goods and running a massive criminal organization. One of the men points his finger at Pak Long while yelling at him. Pak Long suddenly grabs the man's finger with his teeth and bites it clean off before slaughtering everyone in the room, including his own father-in-law. More armed men rush in from outside, and during the chaos, Pak Long accidentally kills his own wife as well. Back at the police station, Yardong takes statements from Wong and Nwin. She tells them she knows they were responsible for rescuing the children, but because of everything that happened, they still have to spend one night in jail as part of the investigation. Wong quietly agrees, and he's placed in a holding cell with Renee remaining nearby. Meanwhile, back at the factory, one of the surviving gang members discovers Mr. Song's body and realizes his father is dead. Later that night, inside the jail, Nwin talks with Wong and praises everything they accomplished together to save the children. Outside the police station, however, Pak Long and Tak arrive to take their revenge. Tak enters first and silently begins killing every police officer in sight with his arrows. Yardong quickly realizes that someone has broken into the station. She immediately tells the rescued children to hide. Her partner goes to investigate the disturbance, only to come face to face with Tak, who kills him without hesitation. Yardong spots Tak and immediately opens fire. Inside the station, Wong and Nwin realize something is terribly wrong. They notice the jail keys have fallen outside the cell and desperately try to reach them. Meanwhile, Tak kills Yardong and he and Pak Long make their way to the holding cells. But when they arrive, the cells are empty. Wong and Nwin have already escaped upstairs with the rescued children and are desperately searching for a way out. Just as they think they're about to escape, Pak Long and Tak suddenly appear in front of them. The limping boy tries to help Renee get away, but Tak fires an arrow that strikes Renee in the leg, stopping her in her tracks. A brutal final battle erupts as Wong and Nwin take on the two villains in a long and vicious fight. Suddenly, Mr. Song's son joins the battle. Furious over his father's death, he attacks the villains while screaming, "You killed my father!" Now all 5 men are locked in an all-out fight. During the chaos, Nwin finally manages to knock Tak to the ground and confront him face to face. Just as Tak is about to kill him, Nwin notices a ring on Tak's finger. It's Matia's wedding ring. Tak smirks and tells him that he killed Matia. And now Nwin will die the same way. Consumed by rage, Nwin gathers his last bit of strength and kills Tak. But his wounds are too severe, and he dies shortly afterward. Meanwhile, Wong continues his exhausting fight against Pak Long. After a fierce exchange, Wong finally knocks Pak Long to the ground. But Pak Long suddenly gets back up, grabs Renee by the hair, and drags her toward him. Seeing his daughter in danger, Wong charges forward and slams Pak Long back to the ground. The two continue fighting until Wong collapses from exhaustion and loses consciousness. Renee runs over with the young boy, crying as she desperately tries to wake her father. She then stands in front of Pak Long, ready to fight him herself. But Pak Long is completely exhausted. He quietly says that he just wants to go home. As he tries to walk away, it's revealed that Wong had inflicted a fatal head wound during their battle. Pak Long takes only a few more steps before collapsing to the ground, dead. In the final scene, Wong, Renee, the young boy, and the surviving officers gather on a beach to pay their respects to Nwin's memory. Wong remembers the conversation they shared inside the jail, when Nwin smiled and told him that they were friends. Even though Wong was such a mysterious man that Nwin didn't even know his name, the memory fades. Finally, Wong sits beside his daughter on the beach and begins telling her the story of how he first met her mother, and with that, the movie comes to an end.